What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for joining us. We are here in South Florida at Suncoast Porsche, and we are in a 4S convertible 992 2020. This is the Aventura Green. It's got the sport exhaust, and we got our shades on because it's nice in South Florida and everybody else is freezing their tail off right now. So
enjoyed it.
So we're gonna bring you this car in review. Sorry, not sorry about all the noise that's happening because the top's down.
Top down life.
Yeah, you're gonna hear everything and anything that's happening around us at the moment. We're in the 4S, the new 2020. We've driven the C2S convertible and coupe. So now we're in a C4S, and we're gonna do a comparison to see what the difference is. But stick along with us and start the intro. So that was 70%. That wasn't even hard. If you're wondering, it still gets it.
It does. I was worried for a second.
Exhaust sounds amazing. The sports exhaust. So those are wondering on cross comparing between the 2 and the 4. I cannot tell at all in the front steering at all whether this is a 4 or 2. You know, when Porsche went to the all-wheel drive system a long time ago in the 964, you could definitely tell the steering dynamic changed a ton. But I'll tell you what, with this new 4S, you can't tell. You really can't. Now, obviously, the steering has changed a lot over the years. You know, we went from manual to hydraulic to electric. But I'll tell you what, you can't feel it. And on a positive note, the steering still feels Porsche. It still feels very strong. You know, you can feel everything in the road. And I'm a big fan of manual steering, but I'll tell you what, they've learned how to perfect electric steering modernly. Like, everybody was so down on it initially, but I'll tell you what, over time, just like anything, when it first came out, when it was beta, it wasn't that great. It's gotten a lot better.
Well, it wasn't that great, then it also was just different too.
Yeah.
So you didn't know how to feel about it.
All right. So Suncoast Porsche is providing this convertible for us to test us out. We're so thankful for that. This car has 38 miles on it, guys. 38 freaking miles.
Barely delivered.
Yeah. So if you want to purchase a car, please purchase a car from them. They're stand-up guys. They trust us with the cars, and we love them. They're motorsports guys. If you recognize any of our other videos with them, we've driven their GTS,
their Cayman S.
The Cayman S, sorry.
718.
Track-built car, which is stupid fast. And we love coming down here in South Florida and visiting them and seeing all the stuff they have to offer. And we just want to thank them for that. This is great. The spec on this is insane.
That's what I was going to say too, is the way they choose specs on these cars are good.
Yeah. So Aaron's talking about the spec in here, and it's sorry, not sorry if I'm shouting because there is a lot of wind noise, so I hope I am shouting so you can hear me. There's this wood finish in here, which you don't see in a lot of 911s, but it actually works very, very well for this spec, but it's a very high spec C4S. Like I said earlier, it's the Aventura Green exterior, tan inside. There's a tan deviated stitch on the black with the accented wood matching panels. It's actually very, very baller, very, very high end, very, very,
very clean.
It makes you feel like you're at the beach when you're in here.
Yeah.
And it's stupid fast. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Definitely a quick conversion for sure.
The more time I spend with these, the more I enjoy them. I know everybody was, and for me, even before they came out, when I first saw prototypes, I was looking at the outside of it, and I'm like, oh, it's way too big.
It's great.
I'll eat crow on it. It doesn't look too big.
No.
especially when you're with it. Now, if you're side comparing, like with an earlier car, yeah, of course, all the generations have gotten bigger. It's not really a fair comparison.
Yeah.
But when optically you're with it by yourself, it doesn't look unproportionally big. It doesn't look odd.
It doesn't.
So let's put all that to bed. And again, I know in our C2S video, we labeled it the best all-round 911, new 911 to buy. This actually might be it for all regions just because it's the 4S. So this is actually the one-up on the 2S. Now, if you live somewhere where you don't need to worry about any type of inclement weather where you're ever going to get caught in anything,
just get the yes and have fun.
But it looks like this is the one to go with, one notch above that as far as like best round, all round. Like if you're not going GT car, obviously, because you still got the high horsepower motor. Like it's turbocharged. Yeah, it's still turbocharged. It looks fantastic. All same horsepower numbers as the C2S. And so it's a little heavier just because of C4S, but it doesn't feel heavier.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I can't tell from the passenger seat, but it feels like it pulls just as hard as the other one. It's negligible.
Exactly. And like I said, every time I'm with one of these, I really enjoy the time with it. Even if you can't afford to just have multiple Porsches, because I know that is a pretentious thing to expect people to have. If you could only have one, this is still a great one to have, because when it is beautiful out wherever you live at in your region, you can put the top down. And with the modern technology and these roofs that come on and off that are so nice, the car's well equipped. You're not going to freeze your tail off. It's still going to keep you warm. You can have the heat. Yeah, you can have it's the 4S. And people will be like, wow, you live, I don't know, let's pick a colder place and region. You live in the New England area of the United States, and it gets to 30 degrees, and they're like, what are you doing? It's cold out. And you're like, well, it's a 4S. It's fine. Like, yeah, I'm not going to put the top down right now. However, with that being said, if it warmed up to 40 degrees or something, you could put the screen up, the windows up, put the heated seats on and the heat, and have the top down effect. It'd still be warm.
Yeah.
So there really isn't any, I guess, disclaimers.
Not a downside.
Yeah, where people want to throw negative things out. You're like, well, I live in a really cold climate. Like, how could I own that car? Pretty easily, actually.
Yeah, super easily.
Yeah, the top on this is robust. It's not like it's going to be, oh my God, I'm freezing because I have a canvas top. The car's well insulated. It's not an issue. And if you live down here too, you're like, oh, well, I'm baking in that car. Well, it has great AC also. So it's a win-win, right?
All the wins.
Would you pick this kind of spec in this car?
The more I sit in it, yes.
Yeah.
Initially, maybe not.
What did you not like initially on it, like the spec?
Well, I mean, I'm just not a lighter color interior person. But I think it does work well with the green.
I think any greens can pull a tan off, no problem.
I didn't think the stitch is also pulled in the same color as the interior.
Yeah.
It's a beige stitch.
It helps.
That helps. And then I like the wood touch. That's something different.
Yeah, it's really, really, really cool, right? Like and for anybody who doesn't know, it's a real quick history lesson. The 901, which turned into the 911 for copyright reasons, the original ones had wood trim and a wood steering wheel.
Yeah, they almost spec it kind of like the million 911s.
Yes. So it's a little homage back to the original 911 in the 60s/901 when it had wood trim inside and it had the wood steering wheel and it had all of those like lovely little touches where it was a sports car, but it worked for that time. Everybody wasn't so like hardcore motorsports. Like they wanted the car to be a little bit of plush, but also quick, and that's what that was. And this is kind of a throwback to that in a way, being Avatary green and then having the wood inserts inside. I would totally spec this if I had a convertible. Now on a coupe, I don't know if I'd spec it this way, but I feel like this works really well.
You see people look inside, that type of thing.
Exactly. It's very classy when you have the top down and maybe you valet this car somewhere and they leave the top down. This wood is very aesthetically pleasing with this tan inside. So I think we have a little bit of road. So I'll try to... I know you can hear that GT sound. the motorsports guys watching this wondering, you know, I just got to buy a GT3 or I just got to get a coupe convertible. I'm telling you right now, I'm one of those guys, but I'm a believer in this convertible.
That's very
now,
true.
and I'm not speaking for the older 911s. I'm speaking for the current gen 992s at either C2S or C4S, because obviously the base ones aren't out yet. We haven't had a chance to get in them. But I really do believe this is a really super sweet spot because it's a very powerful car. It's super capable. It's very plush. And it does all of those things. It does all of those like juicy things you want it to do. And trust me, guys, in the horsepower wars, we've driven the brand new GT2 RS 700 horsepower. Don't get me wrong, we love it.
Yeah.
But do you need it? No. This is more of a compliant daily driver. It can do everything. Like you could take your wife out, your girlfriend, your significant other out, go to places, do things with it.
And it's still super
Yeah,
quick.
and if you want a little brag, you're like, watch what this can do. So you hear that? Yeah. Getting after it, right? And it wants for nothing. Like it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get it. So maybe we'll try a little launch control action. All right, let's try launch control again, because the launch control is so strong, it was breaking Aaron's little like camera holder thing and then pushing it to the sky, so that wasn't working. So, what I was trying to say earlier, it can do everything. If you want to go screw around with your friends, you can do stuff like this, like launch control, and like... I think it hits harder because it's a 4.
Yeah, it definitely hits harder.
So that'll rip your face off.
Oh yeah.
And we love it. And guess what? They're designed to do it. Designed to like over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
Here we are. You know, it's a beautiful day. You want to go to brunch with your other partner. You want to hang out with your buddies. You want to do whatever you want to do. This car can do it all. It really can.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron's driving.
Aaron is driving, top down. Nice road. No launching out.
I mean, I'll tell you what, like off camera, we did a lot of drone stuff, you know, a lot of stuff you guys don't get to see. So I got to do a lot of laps in this car, and I can't say it enough how impressed I am with it. It really is a fantastic car.
I'm impressed with how well it looks. It just looks so good when it's like coming at you. This
metallic in the Avatari green in the sunlight is just, it shimmers so good. Like if anybody who's watching is like a fisherman or anything, you know how like there's an iridescence like on a fish when you see it in the sunlight? It has that in this paint, and it's so pretty to look at.
Yeah, the lights and everything, it just looks so good going by. I mean, can't say enough. But driving feel, I mean, it's excellent. I expect it to be for being brand new. I think you can feel a little bit of the weight up front. I mean, I don't think
I couldn't, but I mean, to each their own. But
I think it feels a little bit heavier.
I'm trying to compare it to the C2S of it. I'm not trying to compare it to anything else other than its own generation. Like, I couldn't tell. So maybe you guys can hear us. It sounds amazing.
It does. That's the other thing too. As I know we've driven other ones, but top down, and it just accentuates how good this exhaust actually is.
Just like we've said in all the other ones, the engine's the same. You hear that high-pitched GT sound, like the intake, where that's unique to this generation.
Yeah, that just makes me more excited for the GT car.
Yeah.
How much more is that going to sound?
Exactly.
Pronounced.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts so far in the seat? Like that I know you haven't been in long, but a couple minutes that you've been driving.
I like it. I feel like it's more direct. I don't know.
Yeah.
Direct, but I mean, you feel
guys, obviously the magic of Hollywood, it's later in the day, so it's a lot hotter than it was when I was initially driving. It was morning, but we have the air-conditioned seats on right now, and they feel fantastic. But we still have the sun down, and we're getting, you know, kissed by the sun right now. But I mean, what a modern, awesome world we live in, where you can get a suntan and drive the car, have 440 horsepower, and get air conditioning on your back.
And feel super comfortable.
And be super comfortable and super plush, and have those amazing sounds that come from the engine note still. It's a good time to be alive, guys. Needless to say, yes.
992 shopping, get one.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah, and if you and the only difference I would say is if you live anywhere probably out of the South region or outside of California, well, even in California, because it snows up at Newcombs depending on when you go. So I would say if you live somewhere where they never see snow, then maybe stick with the 2. But other than that, like this, the 4 is not so much of a detriment that I wouldn't get it. Like if there was one for sale and it was really the spec I wanted, I wouldn't be like, well, it's a 4S, I'm not getting it. Because I'm telling you from my driving perspective, I've driven so many, I couldn't tell from behind the wheel, and the car doesn't lack in performance with the added weight.
No, I'm not saying like it's a negative there. I'm just saying you gotta just add slow, like modulating the steering wheel back and forth. You can feel a little bit more weight than I felt before.
Yeah.
But as far as pointing the car, putting the car in, it feels just like the C2.
Yeah. Well, Aaron loves it. I love it. Don't forget to go to Suncoast Porsche, buy a car from them, because help guys that are help supporting P-Car Talk. You know, if you love Porsche content, please subscribe. We don't make that ask enough, we hear from other people that are third parties. So I'm asking now, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you love Porsche content, because that's what we do. We do everything and anything that you can think of in the Porsche world, from driving, reporting on it. We also have a podcast if you haven't checked that out. We're on iTunes, Spotify, everything you can think, Stitcher, on our own website even. Matter of fact, check out our website, pcartalk.com. Become a P-Car Club member. How do you do that? It's all explained on there. There's testimonials on there. We have giveaways every month. We're doing a lot of stuff, guys. So if you're new to the channel, you just got a quick education of all the stuff we do, but do some more research on us. We do a lot of in-depth stuff, and we love you guys. Remember to do all those things that we were saying, subscribe, all that stuff, share it, and we'll see you on the next one. We love you guys.
See ya.